regardless of what your feelings may be on abortion, we should all be able to come to an agreement that adoption is something that can help multiple people in the situation.
The legislation was inspired by the story of an LSU law student who was put up for adoption after his mother considered having an abortion. A meeting happening at LSUS later this month will allow local developers to have a free discussion about the Shreveport Metropolitan Planning Commission. The meeting is set for the 11th. That's Wednesday. It'll be held at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Lawmakers still trying to find solutions to our budget mess. We caught up.
All of that market lack of organization, I hope, was on camera. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, 3 past 6 o'clock. Robert and Erin. Erin down yonder has local news up next.
Lots of strong. What's wrong? Put me in program. My mic in program. Mike's got to be in program. Lots of strong storms roared through our region yesterday. One fire was the result. Lots of power outages. Public colleges escaping cuts. We'll talk more about that, too.
Could I be the next Erin McCarty? Huh? At least in the eyes of the Edwards administration. We will discuss momentarily.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Plus Fletcher and sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on KEEL.
Lawmakers still trying to find solutions to our budget mess. We caught up with State Representative Raymond Cruz. He says the Appropriations Committee is adamant about taking the governor's draconian budget and spreading those cuts out more evenly across state government. Now, I did ask him if he thinks John Bell Edwards is a one-term governor.
Well, unless he changes something quickly, it's looking that way to me. I've seen politicians change their stripes, but I don't really see that going on right now, so I don't know.
Special session will be held later this spring to address the budget mess. A new season of Murder Chose Me airs tonight on Investigation Discovery. The series follows the cases of Shreveport homicide detective Rod Demery. Season 2 of the show will focus more on the cases, promising a more gritty feel. The first episode will cover a triple shooting in the Shreveport area known as the Bottoms. The Coalition for a Tobacco-Free Louisiana kicked off its Smoke-Free Louisiana campaign as Opelousas Representative Dustin Miller filed legislation to ban smoking in bars and casinos statewide. A smoking ban for restaurants has been in effect since 2007. Spokesperson Reagan Carter says Miller's bill would amend the current law.
We still have workers that work in bars and casinos and entertainers across our state that are still exposed to secondhand smoke because of the businesses in which they work.
Several cities have passed local ordinances that prohibit smoking in bars and casinos. That's in Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Monroe, and New Orleans. New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees has filed suit accusing a California businessman of cheating him out of $9 million through jewelry purchases. A voter in a tiny northeast Wisconsin town wants to bring ducks to the polling places along with a sign that reads, "If you don't vote, you can't squawk." I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
KEEL, I'm Reuben Wright.
We could soon be seeing more school.
A meeting taking place at the LSUS. Better dialogue is needed in helping to improve Shreveport's economic development outlook. The meeting. An audit and
schools. Reuben Wright with that.
An audit and security meeting yesterday saw.
The meeting is set for the 11th. That's Wednesday. We're voting to add 5 more resource officers. There's currently only one. We're still trying to find solutions to our.
All of that market lack of organization, I hope, was on camera.
Lots of strong storms roared through our region yesterday. One fire was the result in the afternoon. Lots of strong storms roared through our
weather, and it's all coming up.
Lots of strong storms roared through our region yesterday. One fire was in the afternoon. Lawmakers still trying to find in the afternoon. Lawmakers still trying to find solutions.
Well, unless he changes something quickly, it's looking that way.
Says Miller's bill.
We still have workers that work in bars and casinos and entertainers across our state.
The current law.
We still have workers.
The coalitions have passed Low and New Orleans. New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees has filed if you do 710 KEEL. If you don't vote, you can't squawk. I'm Erin. That reads, if you polling place 710 KEEL.
Good morning, 10 past 6 o'clock. It's 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Time for our first Wednesday morning KEEL traffic.
Cooler and less humid today. Sunshine and a high of 67. Clear to partly cloudy tonight. Chilly with a low of 42 degrees. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zaire.
Golfers, listen up. You'll want to be part of Cinco the Ball, a golf tournament to benefit Loving Solutions. It's happening Saturday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo at Crooked Hollow Golf Course. It's $100 to play in the tourney, and there'll be great prizes for the winners of each flight. All of the money raised will go toward Loving Solutions, which works to provide a safe and loving environment for women healing from the effects of crystal meth addictions. Cinco the Ball. Get your team registered today on the Loving Solutions Facebook page. Cinco the Ball. It's coming up May 5th.
Good morning. It's 11 past 6 o'clock. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty at 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Don't forget the always awesome sounding KEEL app is a free download from Office Furniture Source. Texting already? Who are we trying for? Who are we trying to get?
No, something not related
Not
to
work related. How's the house going, by the way?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Percentage-wise, 75, 80%?
Oh, 60.
Understand. Erin's house is undergoing a complete
OMG.
and total renovation.
Who knew you could get an elongated toilet?
What?
Who knew?
I
go to get a toilet because I
Yeah.
decided I'm going to replace both toilets. Well, they're getting a nice highfalutin one for my downstairs, but right now I'm using the upstairs, and I said, I want a new toilet up there.
I don't know what elongated mean?
My butt is not elongated shaped.
I beg your pardon. Well, it's
testify to.
But you're working on that. I can't testify.
No, you're right. You're right. There are zillions of. You can buy these round bowls. You can buy You can buy one 15 inches off the ground, 17. How high do you want your toilet?
So basically, it's like you're trying on shoes for your butt.
Yes, I'm so sorry to the folks at Lowe's. I really apologize.
How long did it take? Like an hour and 20 minutes?
Well, they didn't like it when I climbed up on the shelf to try the ones on the upper deck.
Well, sometimes a girl drinks.
Well, they thought I was really using it.
Yesterday, taking a completely different direction.
Thank you.
Yesterday, a woman who was angry at YouTube because they changed their monetization policy, i.e. their basic algorithm on how they pay people. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, a woman who was mad at YouTube because they changed their monetization policy went into YouTube and shot, was it 4 people before killing herself?
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, we had an hour-plus long corporate meeting. We had a conference call because who now has also changed their monetization algorithm?
Facebook.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you think they might have extra security today?
Ooh, they might.
I guarantee you that, and no small irony there, because Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO, the founder of Facebook, is radically left-wing anti-gun. Mm-hmm. So once again...
You can't bring your guns to Facebook.
Once again, I guarantee you that Mark Zuckerberg and the Facebook campus, if you will...
Has somebody with guns there.
Has armed guards this morning.
Oh, I bet they do.
A woman goes to YouTube because they changed their algorithm, which affects the number of people that view your site, which affects the amount of money you make.
Yeah.
And she shoots 4 people before killing herself. Mm-hmm. We had Town Square Media, a corporate-wide 1-hour conference call and video show yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
On the new Facebook rules and the new Facebook algorithms.
Right.
So if you don't think that Mark Zuckerberg, avowed leftist and backer of, here comes the term, common sense gun control. Common sense gun control, of course, means gun confiscation. If you just like, what's the others? Common sense. We need common sense gun control.
Yeah.
We need common sense immigration reform. We need common sense healthcare reform. So when we talk about common sense, not we, the radical left, in this case, singularly speaking, Mark Zuckerberg. When we talk about common sense gun control, what we basically mean is, as I always say, socialism's for the people, it's not for the socialists. So basically, Mark Zuckerberg, who thinks you should give up your guns, I should give up mine, and everybody should give up theirs. By the way, and I have it in my list of notes, did you see that the 18 to 21-year-old age ban made it through Senate committee yesterday in Baton Rouge?
I did see that.
And a little bit later, maybe the next segment, maybe later this hour.
Tom texted me too.
Did he?
Oh yes, he did.
And we will. It's a New Iberia. It's a woman from New Iberia. Do you have her name in front of you? I've got it in the phone, and I haven't.
Well, he said Senator Fred Mills was the only Republican that voted for it in the Judiciary Committee.
I apologize. It was a guy, Fred Mills, who voted that in that committee, so it makes it onto the floor of the Senate.
Yep.
That 18 to 21-year-olds should be banned from buying semi-automatic weapons.
And it was a 4-3 vote. Tom Gresham, I'm referring to, says that he will be feeling the political heat on this one.
Yes, somebody in this room called his office yesterday. So what was his name?
Fred Mills.
Do you think Fred had a problem? Fred obviously thinks that the 18 to 21-year-olds are not mature enough and sound of mind enough and logical enough to buy a weapon. A semi-automatic weapon. Fair enough?
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you think Fred has a problem with those 18 to 21-year-olds voting for him? I'll bet he doesn't.
Or fighting in Iraq for him?
Okay, so back to the initial point about Facebook and common sense gun control. Speaking of Mark Zuckerberg, who thinks you should give up your guns and I should give up mine, but he and his armed guards should get to keep theirs. That's common sense gun control. Just like common sense immigration reform is, what do we say? What's the Democrat stance? Anybody should get to come here anytime for any reason, stay as long as they want, come and go as they please.
Yeah.
And while they're here, take advantage of our educational system, healthcare, and social programs.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, isn't it going to be interesting to see what happens with the caravan of immigrants? Who do you think's organizing that? Do you think 5,000 people just got together and said, let's get on buses and go to the USA? I'll bet not.
Probably not.
I'll bet there's some left-wing money behind that. And, of course, more common sense, health care. And we know what that means. The government controls everything.
Yeah.
So, in summing up, a woman goes into YouTube yesterday mad because they changed their algorithm, shoots 4 people, then kills herself.
Mm-hmm.
What was our meeting about yesterday? By the way, what did you take away from that? That nobody really understands what they're going to do?
That it's a wide open playing field that nobody understands what they're going to do with.
They've changed all the rules.
Yeah.
Just like YouTube, just like Google, just like everybody else who rules the world these days.
Sure.
But the point I was going to make was we had a 1 hour,
I know you love meetings.
hour get together yesterday, conference call about the new Facebook algorithm.
Yeah.
But based on the occurrences, the truly speaking tragic occurrences yesterday at YouTube, I guarantee you there are men with guns at Facebook today.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I asked Erin in that little top of the hour tease, and I don't know how long it would take to dig up that little sound bite I'm talking about. I mean, and so it's certainly okay that we don't have it. You know the one I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. From the Raymond cruise yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I do know.
So with this is kind of a little tease for the next segment.
Oh, I love this.
Did you throw me under the bus yet with the governor's office?
No, they haven't called yet.
Did you call them and tell them?
No.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, hang on. I am the new Erin McCarty.
Yeah, you are.
I need an elongated toilet for my elongated butt. Details on the way. 19 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, the latest KEEL traffic. Here we go.
Other than a few areas still in the dark this morning due to some SWEPCO power outages, looks like all is well with traffic. If you do run across something that's slowing things down, make sure you call the Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-7623. That's 687 Road.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, cooler and less humid today. Sunshine and a high of 67. Clear to partly cloudy tonight. Chilly with a low of 42 degrees. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zaire.
If it's time to sell your house, if you're looking to buy, it is time to get in touch with Chris Hayes and the Chris Hayes team at Keller Williams Realty Northwest. The numbers do indeed say it all. They sell more than 100 homes a year. That's a home sold every 3 days. Time to get buying or selling. Call the Chris Hayes team at 207-7653.
And on page well, I'm not on appropriations, but the
Baton Rouge now in the regular session. Y'all fix the budget yet?
straight into the base off of 220.
All right. How long a project is this? I mean, it's multiple years, right?
Yeah, that's up to anybody's.
Can y'all fix the budget yet?
Well, I'm not on appropriations.
That John Bell would screw it up.
Like you said, your words, not mine.
Is John Bell Edwards a one-term governor?
Change. I've seen politicians
Follow this regular session?
making an effort to complete.
Good morning, 21 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Time for sports. Here's Whispering Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU freshman A.J. Labus held Nicholls State to 1 run on 5 hits and 5 innings of work, while junior Bryce Jordan had a career-high 4 hits in the Tigers' 10-1 win over the Colonels at Alex Box Stadium last night. Jordan had 2 doubles and a pair of singles, plus an RBI to set the tone for an offense that banged out 15 hits. LSU next heads to College Station for a 3-game set that begins Thursday. The World Series champion Houston Astros received their rings prior to last night's game against Baltimore. Armed with those new accessories, the Stros proceeded to pound the Orioles 10-6. Josh Reddick broke out of a season-opening slump with 2 homers, including a grand slam and 6 RBI to lead the way. And last night in Oakland, Cole Hamels held the A's to 4 hits in 5 innings, while fanning 11 to lead Texas to a 4-1 win. The victory snapped a 9-game losing streak in the Athletics building. Joey Gallo became the 11th fastest player in Major League Baseball history to notch 50 homers with a shot in the second inning in just his 204th career game. It was also a momentous night for Adrian Beltre, who tied Rod Carew for the most hits by a Latin-born player with his single in the same inning. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
What the hell happened last night? For 150 to be presented by Kraft.
Well, it's also
CraftHockeyville.com, but there's way more. Tell us about it.
Well, it's also, to me, the best part is, well, I shouldn't say that. The best part is that
George.com forecast, let me take a deep days, top of mind.
On his behalf, as it pertains, we want it bad.
Scott, thank you so much.
So, we want this thing. We want it bad.
Scott, thank you so much. Up against the
.23 past. Shut up.
I think I might throw you under the bus today.
20.
That'd be kind of fun.
You could disguise your voice. You could call John Bell and disguise your voice.
Yeah, I like that.
This is not Erin McCarty at KEEL.
Have you heard this yet?
Roger Ray says you're a moron.
No, wait, that was you. 24 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Shreveport Security Systems text line is
Usually they call on a Sunday, so I'm expecting it on a Sunday.
318-392-1884. What was it, about 60 days ago, maybe 45 days ago, that you got in a little hot water with the governor's office? You got a call on Sunday from someone in the governor's press office.
The head cheese lady.
Office, some underling, some
ne'er-do-well. No, she was the head cheese lady.
Okay. And basically they wanted to know why you, Erin McCarty, had on the air called the governor a moron.
Yeah.
And
why'd you call him a moron?
Well,
he was very offended by that.
And you didn't remember having done it.
No, I really didn't.
Here's the deal. You didn't really call him a moron.
I just asked Dodie Horton if he's a moron.
And the context of the question was, and Lord knows at that moment I felt no compulsion to defend you in any way.
I asked Dodie, I said, does the governor think y'all are morons, or is he a moron?
For thinking you're going to raise taxes.
Yeah.
And Dodie went, well,
I wouldn't call my governor a moron.
Yeah. Well, then you got
somebody did just.
But see.
And somehow it got to the governor's office.
I'm talking more about me now. And yes, they called you. The governor's office called. And said, why did you call John Bell a moron? And you didn't remember having done it.
No.
So then they reminded you, and you went back and listened, and you said, well, it was really, but you felt compelled to send him a letter of apology.
Yeah, I did apologize.
And then
you go out and swing the bat up against the other side of his head.
Okay, let me explain what happened. Well, did you go back and find the bite?
I've got it. Yeah, you want to hear it?
Oh, you're a bad.
You got my computer on over there?
Hold on just a second. We had Representative State Rep Raymond Cruz on yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
And we were, in fact, once again talking about taxes and special sessions and all that kind of stuff. And as soon you can listen to it, and then God knows I have an explanation.
Yeah, of course you do.
Because I had almost 24 hours to think of one. So here is me yesterday. You don't have the Raymond Cruz on here. That's okay. We don't really need this.
Right.
Here's me yesterday asking Raymond Cruz a particular question about legislation and tax bills and special session.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Is John Bell insane?
That's basically
you call the governor insane. That's worse than moron.
I asked if he were.
So did I. I asked if he were a moron.
And I wish I'd stood up for you more at the time. Let me explain to you exactly what happened because you having called the governor a moron.
No, 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 no.
Well, if you didn't call the governor a moron, then I didn't call him insane. If you questioned his intellect,
and you questioned his sanity,
I questioned his stability.
Yes, you did.
So the point being, we've got Raymond Cruz on yesterday, and Mr. Raymond is down there with Miss Doty and Alan Seabaugh and everybody, and oh
Lord.
Do you have it again? Could you play it?
Yeah, of course
Okay,
I could play.
don't
I
play
could play
it
it every 30 seconds if you'd like.
Here's what I meant to say.
Okay.
What I meant to say was, there's a cliche that says, if you do the same thing over and over, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. What I meant to say was, is having another special session of the legislature insane?
That's not what you said. Here's what you said.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Is John Bell insane?
So...
Is John Bell insane? My phone's going to, as soon as they hear this.
Well, they're not going to hear it if you don't tell them.
I'm not going to tell them, but they will find out.
I'm not going to tell them.
They will find out.
The people listening aren't going to call the governor's office.
Trust me, someone will.
Oh, no.
Someone will sell your butt out.
So basically, I've been a moron and insane.
Yeah, pretty much.
For highlighting what I said.
Good luck getting the governor back on this show again.
No, he wasn't that good a guest. 28 past... Oh, wait, he sang happy birthday to me.
Yes, he did.
He obviously...
And it's almost time again.
He obviously doesn't listen that closely.
Oh, boy.
29 past 6 o'clock. Erin has local news in just a couple of seconds. If you have not heard about the Shreveport mudbugs, well, not the mudbugs specifically, to be perfectly correct, George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum, home of the Mudbugs, home of Miss USA. They are in a contest. One of the 4 national finalists in the contest is called Kraft Hockeyville. And the Mudbugs, Hirsch Coliseum could win $150,000 in renovation money. We had a chat yesterday with Mudbugs General Manager Scott Muscat. That is coming up if you missed it. Why we need about 5 minutes of your time on April 13th. 29 past 6 o'clock. It's 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. KEEL app's a free download from Alvis Furniture Source. Traffic update. Here's Gary.
The scene of some type of an EMS event that's around Lloyd Street near South Lake Shore and Rhoda Street. Give those guys plenty of room to do their job. Nothing else really tying up traffic this morning, but if you do run across a problem, make sure you call the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-7623. That's 687 Road.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Cooler and less humid today. Sunshine and a high of 67. Clear to partly cloudy tonight. Chilly with a low of 42 degrees. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zaire.
Take command of your lawn care needs with a Kubota Commander zero-turn mower and get commercial results for a residential price. Maneuver through landscapes with outstanding performance, comfort, and ease with 42, 48, or 54-inch mower decks. Now get special promotional pricing of $38.99 with 0 down and 0% financing for up to 48 months. Now through June 30th, 2018. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Visit Shreveport Tractor, Fallen Tractor, or go Kubota.com.
Follow the world's best golfers at the 82nd Masters Tournament, April 2nd through the 8th on the tournament's official website, masters.com. Log on all week long to experience a tradition unlike any other, and follow the Masters on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Masters.com.
6:35. It's 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
Did you lose power last night?
No.
A lot of folks did. Houghton was hit hard. A lot of folks were in the dark. That was a storm, dude.
There was a lightning flash. You know, the rule of thumb is how far the actual lightning is away. When you see the lightning flash, you start counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Yeah.
And then however high you can count is how many miles away the actual lightning burst was.
Right.
And there was about 3 crackles of lightning that literally seemed like it was outside my bedroom window about 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the amount of time I couldn't have gotten not only to Mississippi, I couldn't have gotten to 1.
It was booming loud. I ran
rocked,
downstairs thinking, are my construction guys okay? Because they were down there working. And I heard them, whoa, something like that.
It was.
I was like, whoa.
And I'm looking on Facebook, I'm looking on social media for a while, and it says somebody in Center, Texas, or thereabouts, had talked about like 1/8 of an inch size hail.
OMG.
And stuff like that. And they ended their little post with, "Look out, Shreveport." Well, evidently we never, at least in my house, never got anything like that.
I got pouring rain for a little bit.
But that's all. No hail, no 60 or 70 mile an hour winds they were talking about, so we got pretty lucky there.
Got that lightning, though, with those thunder boomers.
Anybody without power this morning? Anyone left? How's about yesterday? I don't know.
I think McCoy said he had no power this morning when he woke up, so he's still in the dark out in the Houghton, Princeton area.
He's got that gerbil habit trail, 21st century.
Yeah,
that's
got it
right.
From
Brian
he
Salvatore.
didn't feed the gerbils. Yeah, that's what it is.
You've got to feed the gerbils.
Yeah, you do.
6:38. It's 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. If you did not hear our chat yesterday with Mudbugs General Manager Scott Muscat. By the way, they start the playoffs not this weekend, but next.
Cool.
They wrap up the regular season. The Mudbugs have clinched first place in their division in the North American Hockey League. They finished the regular season on the road this week, I think, in Odessa. Then are home for the playoffs, not this weekend, but next on Friday and Saturday against Corpus Christi. So they won the division, so it's 1 against 4, 2 against 3.
Yeah.
Then those two play. Basically, there's 4 divisions. 4 teams in each division make the playoffs. The final 4 division winners travel to Duluth, Minnesota for a 4 or 5 day. We're going to find a, because the league is so spread out. You can't once you get to the playoffs, outside of division play, you literally can't travel anymore. Who did we play 3 weeks ago? Kenai River, Alaska.
Oh, yeah, key lime pie.
Who did we play 2 weeks ago? Fairbanks, Alaska. Fairbanks won their division. Can you imagine a home and away series?
Oh, my goodness.
Against the Fairbanks Brown Bears.
You couldn't do that tonight here, next night there.
So what basically they do is they take the 4 division winners and go to a common site. The last couple of years, this year included, it's been Duluth, Minnesota, and the 4 teams have I think it's about an 8 to 10 day playoff for the championship.
Oh, my.
Hopefully we will be among them.
You bet.
But George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum, the beauty that it is, the architectural icon that it is a finalist in the Kraft Hockeyville contest for $150,000 in renovation money. And it's going to come down to online voting. Muskie talks about that coming up next here on Keel. In the meantime, traffic update. Here's Mr. Gary once again.
Road.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Sunny, cooler, and less humid with a high of 67 today, then clear to partly cloudy and chilly, low 42 tonight, sunshine tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zayer.
Hi, this is Jack from Banyan Hill. You might have heard about that $34.6 billion that's expected to be doled out in what we call freedom checks. Huge checks.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, 642. So yesterday, Mudbugs general manager Scott Muscat in studio talking about Kraft Hockeyville. That's this big nationwide contest. There are 4 finalists now.
Mm-hmm. We want to win.
And our very own George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum, i.e. the building itself, is one of the 4 finalists for $150,000 in renovation money. Man, that would be awesome. And that was basically how we started off chatting with Muskie. Not only is that awesome, it means so much more than just the money, right?
Well, it's also, to me, the best part is, well, I shouldn't say that. The best part is that George's dream and Shreveport's, Shreveport's pride has the opportunity to win $150,000 and be recognized on a national stage, which is very cool.
Muskie, pardon me just a second, but there are a lot of folks listening who don't know about George Klucher, who don't know how he was, who he was, how the name George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum came to be. We have time. Tell everybody that story quickly.
Well, George was a young hockey player who really was beyond his years. He was a leader at 11 years of age. He traveled around North America playing goal for different teams who asked him to go play. And to tell you how crazy his impact was, I had a lady come up to me the other day and say, "I thought George Klucher was the young boy that died." And I said, he was. And she said, "Oh, by the way, everybody's talking about him. I thought he must have been in his 40s. And that's exactly what kind of impact George had. He had a vision, not just for hockey, but for a whole city to get behind something that got behind him. And he wanted people to understand the passion and the give back that hockey gave him. George tragically passed away at 12 years of age. And when his dad called me to tell me what had happened, I told him then and told the owners then that, listen, we have got to make this kid's dream become a reality. We need to name a building George's Pond, and I think actually it was at the time it was the George Klucher Arena, but that got changed to George's Pond, and now everybody calls it the George. But he was just a young man beyond his years and had a vision that we have all brought to the forefront, and now his vision is not being shared by just people in Shreveport, but his vision was on national television Saturday in the middle of the Boston Bruins Philadelphia Flyers game.
Yeah.
And I had people from Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, British Columbia calling me up saying, "Muskie, you guys' building is on the," and it's just it's a very cool thing that one boy's dream has now become something that an entire community can rally around.
Love how you say Nova Scotia, but let me ask you this:
like a vampire? No, he doesn't talk like a vampire.
Just kidding. What? You're pretend like you're not on the radio. We're just you and me are sitting out having a glass of wine. What are you going to use the $150,000 for?
Well, it's crazy because there's so many things that still need to be done. If it's you and me having a glass of wine, I'd tell you we've put a lot of lipstick on this pig, and we need to put a lot more. And that's but the reality is what was once the pig is now
almost a stallion.
I just love it. I love this girl. I love what George's Pond has become, and we can take that $150,000 and it's so easy to upgrade locker rooms, HVAC and air. One of the things that I want to be able to do is I have a list of about 75 season ticket holders who said the minute that you can add heat to that building, I'm buying my tickets. So I want to add heat to the building. We got to take care of the humidity problem. As I said, locker rooms need to be fixed. There's concrete around here that needs to be redone. We need lights outside of the building to light up George's Pond so that you can see it as you're driving down I-20 for 15 miles. Those are all things that we really, really need to continue to, we try to do the little things along the way to make it go, but $150,000 would really help. And in the end, the biggest part of this whole thing is hosting that NHL game. That would put us again on that national stage, letting people see, man, Shreveport is hockey crazy. Shreveport is Shreveport crazy. Look what these guys have done to support this building. Look what these guys have done to support this team. Look what these guys have done to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, is the most exciting part of all.
We are very early in your media blitz, as we're going to call it. The voting is a single day. The 4 finalists, whoever gets the most votes over like a 24-hour period, tell us about the day and the website and everything we have to start gearing up for.
So the voting begins midnight, right? Midnight of the 12th or 12:01 Thursday morning or Friday morning. I'm sorry, the 13th, and it goes until noon on Saturday. And at 3 o'clock during the hockey game, they're going to announce who the winner is. So vote all day Friday, vote Saturday until noon. We're going to have some very special guests who are going to be encouraging you to vote. Some nationally recognized celebrities are going to be telling you to vote for George's Pond. We're excited about that.
Who? Can you give us a hint?
I can give you a little bit of a hint, but I don't want to spoil it. So I'm like you guys always do to me. I'm going to tease you and tell you that there's some very big names and some very big programs who understand what George wanted for the city of Shreveport, and they're going to step up and speak up on his behalf as it pertains to craft hockey. Bill, we want this thing. We want it bad.
Is a minor accident reported on Elon. That's between Jewella and Grove Avenue. Now, if you see something else that's going to slow traffic down, call that Planet Fitness traffic hotline, 687-ROAD.
Good morning at 6:49. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Here's your KEEL AccuWeather.com forecast. Wow, what a storm yesterday. But for today, mostly sunny and markedly like lots cooler. High today is not even going to hit 70, about 66 for the high. Right now, 46 degrees, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, 650. Good morning, 652. It's 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Time for Wednesday sports. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU freshman A.J. Labus held Nicholls State to one run on 5 hits and 5 innings of work, while junior Bryce Jordan had a career-high 4 hits in the Tigers' 10-1 win over the Colonels at Alec Box Stadium last night. Jordan had 2 doubles and a pair of singles, plus an RBI to set the tone for an offense that banged out 15 hits. LSU next heads to College Station for a 3-game set that begins Thursday. The World Series champion Houston Astros received their rings prior to last night's game against Baltimore. Armed with those new accessories, the Stros proceeded to pound the Orioles 10-6. Josh Reddick broke out of a season-opening slump with 2 home.
What is uh-oh? Because you're eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know who Don Zimmer was?
Don Zimmer.
1017
Don Zimmer.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, 654.
No.
Don Zimmer was a baseball guy. He was with the Yankees for a long time. He was a coach. He was a manager for a lot of teams. He was a player for the Dodgers. But Don Zimmer, in fact, Google Don Zimmer real quick.
Okay, let me get the Goog up.
That's all right. D-O-N space Z-I-M-M-E.
Thanks for the space. I appreciate that.
That's all right. Sometimes you do one word. Sometimes I've read your texts.
Don Zimmer Wikipedia.
Okay, just get a photo. Go to images.
Got it.
Okay.
It's kind of cute.
You see Don Zimmer? You see, Don was, in every photograph, Don was a big proponent of chaw. And in almost every photo ever taken in his baseball career, one side, usually
his jaw's hanging out.
The right side, is a huge lump of chewing tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which of the well-known brands was his favorite.
Wow.
You can guess, Redman. The point being, with your rope belt flavored energy bar, that you basically look like Don Zimmer right now.
I'm done now. Thank you.
It's a damn good.
Oh.
So I filled long enough to let you at least masticate your way through the rope.
Did I
flavor.
masticate?
Yes, you did. I could see it from here. Coming up just after 7 o'clock, you had an interesting news story, and it had to do, wait, let me find the quote. And it has to do with Bossier Schools. Early warning system for at-risk students. And it has to do with some of the new ideas and actions that Bossier Parish schools are going to take when it comes to, bluntly put, having armed guards at schools. At least that's the way I read that.
5 more school resource officers.
And the way they are going to sort of look to filter, to pick out the what they call at-risk students. So I want to talk about that in just a little more detail just after 7 o'clock. Erin has local news just ahead. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Rush.
Mahindra, I'm sure a hardworking, reliable, and bright red tractor is the first thing that.
Good morning at 6:59, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, Fox News just ahead. Traffic update now. Here's Gary.
Plenty of room. Also have a minor accident just reported on Elon between Jewella and Grove Avenue. If you see something else slowing traffic down, call that Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-7623.
Good morning, 6:59. Here's your KeelAccuWeather.com forecast. Kind of sunny and a lot cooler today. The high later today only in the middle 60s. Right now 46 at Keel, 7 o'clock, Fox News.
And trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning. It's 7:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, down yonder at the other end of the gopher-shaped broadcast table. Miss Erin has local news up next.
Lots of strong storms roared through our area. We'll talk more about that. Could get more help in Bossier schools. That's coming up, too. And adoption information should be given out to lots of folks. We'll tell you about that, too.
Does more help in Bossier schools mean people with guns? We will discuss that a little bit. Sports gambling in Louisiana, there's a poll online. We will update you guys there, see what the results are. And I'm going to do a little, let's call it Cyport math. It may be more complicated than Common Core math,
okay,
but we will do the best we can.
All right.
Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, and it's all this hour, and it's coming up right here on KEEL.
General admission tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com.
Strong storms roared through our area yesterday, did leave
Regardless of what your feelings may be on abortion, we should all be able to come to an agreement that adoption is something that can help multiple people in the situation.
The legislation was inspired by the story of an LSU law student who was put up for adoption after his mother considered having an abortion. A meeting happening at LSUS later this month will allow local developers to have a free discussion about the Shreveport Metropolitan Planning Commission. The meeting is set for the 11th. That's Wednesday. It'll be held at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Lawmakers still trying to find solutions to our budget mess. We caught up with State Representative Raymond Cruz. He says the Appropriations Committee is adamant about taking the governor's draconian budget and spreading those cuts out more evenly across state government. Now, I did ask him if he thinks John Bell Edwards is a one-term governor.
Well, unless he changes something quickly, it's looking that way to me. I've seen politicians change their stripes, but I don't really see that going on right now, so I don't know.
Special session will be held later this spring to address the budget mess. A new season of Murder Chose Me airs tonight on Investigation Discovery. The series follows the cases of Shreveport homicide detective Rod Demery. Season 2 of the show will focus more on the cases, promising a more gritty feel. The first episode will cover a triple shooting in the Shreveport area known as the Bottoms. The Coalition for a Tobacco-Free Louisiana kicked off its Smoke-Free Louisiana campaign as Opelousas Representative Dustin Miller filed legislation to ban smoking in bars and casinos statewide. A smoking ban for restaurants has been in effect since 2007. Spokesperson Reagan Carter says Miller's bill would amend the current law.
We still have workers that work in bars and casinos and entertainers across our state that are still exposed to secondhand smoke because of the businesses in which they work.
Several cities have passed local ordinances that prohibit smoking in bars and casinos. That's in Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Monroe, and New Orleans. New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees has filed suit accusing a California businessman of cheating him out of $9 million through jewelry purchases. A voter in a tiny northeast Wisconsin town wants to bring ducks to the polling places along with a sign that reads, "If you don't vote, you can't squawk." I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
Hey there, it's Robert J. Best cocktail spots around. It's going to be a great spring and summer, and I can't wait to tell you more about Quirby's and Huntington, Shreveport's golf courses.
7:09, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Wednesday morning traffic update. Here's Mr. Gary.
Some type of traffic complaint reported downtown Shreveport, Travis Street and Common Street. Also, something in the road, some type of a road hazard, Martha Lane and Sevier Street. Betting that's a downed tree. And a minor accident, Shreveport police still on the scene, Elon between Juella and Grove. If you run across something else slowing things down, call the Planet Fitness traffic hotline at 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, cooler and less humid today, sunshine and a high of 67, clear to partly cloudy tonight, chilly with a low of 42 degrees. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm Heather Zaire.
There's no place like home.
Best yourself spots around. It's going to be a great.
There's air.
Eleven past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright, and all furred up. Erin McCarty.
Mm-hmm.
Is it cold in here to you?
Freezing cold.
Really?
I had to go get my fuzzy.
He's very comfortable.
Yeah.
Wow. So Keel app's a free download presented by Office Furniture Source.
Let me tell you this. We do this every now and then, but this is important today because this time tomorrow, what's that vertical promotion, whatever it is, we're promoting vertically or horizontal, I don't know. Mike Sledge is going to join us at this time tomorrow morning.
When I was talking a couple of seconds ago,
you don't know the name maybe.
The top of the hour tease that I gave when I said we're going to do a little Cyport math, and which is kind of like Common Core, I guess, but we'll see. And I'm not necessarily good at either, but we will find out momentarily. Now, what does Mike Sledge? Who is he? What does he have to do with Cyport math?
He was Cyport's finance and business manager from January of 2015 to September of 2016. And he has some pretty strong allegations against the Cyport Board of Directors, the chairman, Rich Lamb, and others. And
how did you, I know that you sent me a number of emails. Well, let's get this straight once and for all. because you sent me a ton of Cyport emails the other evening. I mean, there were a bunch.
This feud, this has been fired up.
Now, we're talking about Mike Sledge, and he was one of the people in the emails. He's the former Cyport what now?
Finance director.
Okay, so he was one of the people in the emails, but let's clarify. He was not the one that sent you. You said, I got these from an unnamed source. You said that yesterday.
Right.
But Mike Sledge, let's clarify, was not the source of these emails. Fair enough?
Some of them he was, and some of them